Hey everyone, I just wanted to start off with the disclaimer just to give you guys a heads up that this episode is going to be intense, and I intended for the first episode to have such a strong topic. So if you feel offended in any way, just know that it's not an attack against men. This is just a way to open up conversation and discussion about a topic that isn't talked about enough. So, with that being said, let's dive in. Hey, and welcome to the very first episode of Unlearn and Reframe with Morni. So, as you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about the stigma surrounding sex positive women. The reason I wanted to start off with this is because this topic hits a little close to home, and I've heard and seen and have gotten messages from people who think that I'm a little too vulgar because I'm so open about sex and I don't really care. So I wanted to talk about this, and I've noticed that women, especially brown slash colored women, have a stigma attached to them if they're sex positive. And I noticed that there are a lot of women on social media who are becoming more open and comfortable, I guess you could say, with who they are, and a lot of people are giving them slack for it. So let's break this down, shall we? Let me give you a rundown of what this episode is going to consist of. So, first, I'm going to define what sex positivity really means. Number two, I'm going to be talking about why men get away with saying sexual jokes and what happens when women say the same exact jokes. Number three, I'm going to be talking about myself and how I'm sex positive and the commentary and feedback that I get from people when I make these jokes. Number four, why society has a twisted outlook on sex positivity, especially among women. Number five, what we need to do as a community to normalize sex positivity. And number six, I'm going to be sharing my own journey into how I became who I am today, because let me tell you guys, I did not start this way. Okay, so the definition of sex positivity is an attitude towards human sexuality that regards all consensual sexual activities as fundamentally healthy and pleasurable, encouraging sexual pleasure and experimentation. So let's break that down. Someone who's sex positive literally just means they're open to learning more about sex and sexual activity. They place importance on consensual sex, and they understand the importance of safe sex. Where in that definition does it say that a woman who's sex positive is down to fuck anyone? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. If a woman is sex positive and she makes sexual jokes sometimes and she doesn't care talking about sex, that literally just means that she is liberated enough and she embraces her sexuality and who she is as a person. That does not mean that she's open to having sex with just anyone. You do realize that women have standards, right? Even if they are sex positive, they have standards and types. So the next time you see a woman posting a sexual comment or caption or picture, just know that it has nothing to do with you. She doesn't want attention from you. She doesn't want you to hit up her DMs. She doesn't want you to message her. No, she's sex positive. She's embracing her sexuality and she's just being herself. So keep that in mind. Now, why do men get away with it? Have you ever noticed when a guy makes a dirty joke, no one responds negatively? No one reacts to it? It's just whatever, a guy made a joke. That But when a girl makes the same exact joke, I know there's a few people that look at her and think, oh, she's such a slut. Oh, why would she say that? That's so not classy. Oh, why is she being such a whore? Why do we have this mentality? It bothers me so much that people are regulating women's thoughts and vocabulary. Oh, girls can't swear, girls can't make sexual jokes, girls can't wear this, girls can't do that. But why? We are socialized, we are conditioned to believe that guys are more sexual, more horny, always thinking about sex, and girls don't think about sex at all. They are pure and virgin and, the flowers and bullshit. Like, I'm so tired of this. It's so annoying that we've let ourselves be conditioned in this way, that we don't critically question why is it okay that a guy can make these jokes but a girl can't. Next time when a girl makes a sexual joke, think about how you are viewing her. Has your opinion on her changed? Has she become less in your eyes in some way? And just think about what the difference is if a guy were to make the same joke. We need to do better as a society. We need to do better as a community and stop regulating what women say and how they think, and stop holding standards and ideals of, oh, this is how a woman should be. Moving on, I'm going to be talking about myself and what sex positivity means for me. For me, sex positivity just means that I can discuss sex without feeling any shame or awkwardness. I don't look at the topic as taboo at all. If you know me, you know that I'm the one in the group that has a very dirty mind. I am constantly making sexual jokes and I really don't care. And I feel comfortable enough with my friends and my family, my cousins, talking about sex whenever. When people meet me and they get to know me a little, and then I start making my dirty jokes, as always, they find it so shocking that, oh, it's a woman who's not ashamed or embarrassed to be making these sexual jokes. And I don't get it. I create a vibe around me where I'm very open-minded. So anyone that's in my friend circle knows that I'm open to talk about any issues that they're having, any concerns. If they have any questions about sex, I'm the friend to go to because I'm just an encyclopedia when it comes to that shit. It's just me, and I've embraced myself. And I just wish that more women in particular would embrace that side. I've talked to so many girls who are so embarrassed to discuss sex, but they shouldn't be, And I've gotten to know the most innocent girls, and the more they talk to me, the more confident they become, and the more willing they are to share their, I don't know, their fantasies or like, concerns that they've had about sex. But it's because of the vibe that I put out there, It's like I am so not ashamed to talk about it. And people, I guess, just feed off that energy, and I love that I can do that to people. And I think the reason why these girls are so embarrassed to talk about sex and to be open about it and embrace that side of themselves is because, again, we are socialized to believe that girls shouldn't be thinking about sex, that girls should stay innocent and, shouldn't be curious about sex in any way. And I think that we need to stop looking at women as, so innocent, and we need to start realizing that we're all equal. Anyone can fucking make sexual jokes. If you don't want to make sexual jokes, then don't do it. If you want to, then do it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't think about what other people are gonna think, because fuck them. If they aren't open-minded enough to be who they are, then that's on them. That's not on you. You just be you. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make here, that, me being so sex positive, I've helped so many people in my circle of friends just kind of open up and realize that, oh, I do have a sexual side. Oh, I do want to, explore that. I do want to talk about it more because I've been hiding that side for so long and I've been so embarrassed and too scared thinking about what other people will think. So, how is it that society got this so twisted? Let me tell you why. It's because we teach boys that it's normal and that boys will be boys. Oh, fuck. I hate that saying so much. On the flip side, we teach girls to be ladylike and not to curse, and oh, like your image, your honor, your pride. It all depends on how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself. And that's not the way to go. That's where society messes up. And what we need to do is say, fuck that. We need to say, fuck off to society and not be afraid of the repercussions. So, how do we go about normalizing this? For one, we need to stop judging women for being open minded about sex or making sexual jokes. Number two, we need to stop assuming that only men think about sex or watch porn because that's completely untrue, guys. Let me tell you, girls do it too. Girls think about sex too. Get that in your heads. And number three, we need to stop assuming that all women must be ladylike and consider them a mother figure, because by you doing that, you're just perpetuating the idea that women need to be classy and ladylike and sophisticated. And that's not how we're going to normalize looking at sex positive women as an equal human being. And lastly, for this to happen, men need to stop viewing women as sex objects and they need to start viewing them as equal counterparts. The biggest takeaway that I want to give here, though, is that let people live. Like, don't judge someone if they're sex positive, especially not women. If a woman is sex positive, it doesn't mean she lacks character. It just means that she has embraced herself and she knows herself and she's fucking confident. That doesn't mean she has less of a character or she's less of a person because she talks about sex or she has no shame and she doesn't give a fuck. If you think that, just take a deep look at yourself and your character. Who are you to fucking judge a girl who is sex positive and confident in herself? Who are you? How is it okay that you can walk around making sexual jokes and talking about porn out in the open and that's completely fine? But the second that it comes out of a woman's mouth, it's looked at as taboo and gross and unclassy and not ladylike and like she's bringing on shame to herself and her family. I don't understand that logic and I just feel like we need to progress as a society. Also, I want to state here that this whole spiel isn't just directed towards men, it's also directed towards women because I know there are women out there who still slut shame and who still tear other women down, who act like, oh, I'm the cool girl with her only guy friends. Oh, I don't want female drama. That is bullshit because I know that some women might think these sexual things inside, but they'll never admit it in society or out in the open because they're too scared of the consequences. They're too scared of what people will call them. And they're jealous, I feel like, of the women who do embrace and are confident in their sexual side. Which brings me to my journey and how the process to be where I am now. Believe it or not, back in high school, I used to slut shame other women. And I didn't think about it. It was just everyone talked like that. So I didn't care. Oh, she's such a slut. Oh, like I heard she's sleeping with 5 guys. I heard she got an abortion. Bitch, what about the 5 guys that are sleeping with her? I never talked about how these guys were sleeping with other girls. It was always the girl's character. It was always the girl who was sleeping with these guys, oh, she must be such a slut. But what about the guys in the equation? It takes two to tango. It took me a lot of time to just grow up and learn about the world. And that's where I have to thank my university education, because I feel like I learned a lot and I learned how to critically question what I had been taught for all these years. And it helped me kind of just break down everything that I thought was real and re-question it, which is what I mean when I say unlearn all of these things that you were taught and that you just blindly accept, and relearn a more positive, open-minded approach in life in general, I had to build confidence and I had to learn how to not give a fuck, because it took me a while to realize that people will always talk, regardless of what you're doing in life. You could be the most successful person, you could have the best relationship, you could have the best parents, and aunties and uncles will still find a way to talk shit about you. That's what I realized, And I'm so over it and I don't give a fuck. But it took me a while to be here, because trust me, in high school, I was not the same Mornisha that you guys know now. So understand that this is all a process and it will take time to unlearn everything. It takes time to unlearn a whole set of vocabulary that you've been using all these years. But trust me, when you start unlearning all the toxic ideals that you were taught by society growing up, and once you start questioning things critically, once you start making a point to insert yourself in conversations that you never used to have with your friends, once you stop giving a fuck what other people are doing and mind your own business, you'll realize just how positive and open-minded and free your mind gets. And so we've reached the conclusion of this episode. And the biggest points I hope you take away are: don't judge a woman's character based on her vocabulary and mindset and how she carries herself. Stop regulating how a woman should act and don't hold them to a traditional, outdated ideal, because that's not fair. Let women live and stop assuming that she'll sleep with just anyone because she openly talks about sex and she doesn't care. Don't be ashamed to be yourself. Engage in conversations with your friends and family if they make a judgmental comment. Question what you have been taught and be open to change. And most importantly, be the change. You can set an example among the people around you and you don't even know it. You have the power to talk to people, to hold conversations and change their mindsets and help them become open. So it all starts with you. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit follow on Spotify, and if you don't follow me already on Instagram, because I'll be posting updates, my handle is at M0RNI_. That's Morni_, but the O is a 0. And check out my blog, morniinspo.com, if you want to check out some relationship and dating, love, sex, lifestyle articles. Everything's on there. I really hope that this message resonates with you in some way. And I hope you guys are excited to cover more taboo topics in the South Asian community and go on this controversial journey with me. So thank you guys so much, and until next time, bye guys.